I am here with one of our longest customers, April. She has been with us from the very beginning, since our first two
Mhm.
products. And I wanted really excited about inviting her to have this conversation because I want her to talk to us about her own personal hair journey,
Mhm.
some of the issues she's experienced, the downfall, how she's been able to overcome them, or how she's still working towards achieving some of her hair goals, and also like how she's been using hot Safo and how it's helped her. So I know that's a lot. So we'll just start with
Yes.
like your hair journey, and that'll take us through whatever conversations may occur.
Okay. Well, first, Ellana, thank you so much for having this opportunity to come and talk about your fabulous product. I will say that my journey has probably been similar to most, little black and brown girls, starting when I used to get the hot press and curl back in the day in elementary school, up until middle school, and then the box perms. My hair was fairly thin and, usually very short. When we met back in high school, I think my hair was like bob level and,
Yeah,
pretty thin.
I'm
Through
being thin,
college,
but yeah.
yep, yep. And then we went to college, and that's when I started to experiment with protective hairstyles, the braids and the weaves and whatnot. After college, continued on the weave journey just as a protective hairstyle and really loved it. It was perfect. I will say that it wasn't until probably having kids late in my 30s into my 40s where I noticed some hair loss. And as we get older, things happen in life, right? You have deaths in the family, just stress, and just all the things. And I remember calling you one day and talking to you about these random patches just showing up in my head, just baldness going on, right? And you introduced me to your product, Safo, and you mailed me your serum, your oil serum. And I just started putting them in just specific places all the time, every day, running out of it, the oil all the time. I will say that my hair started growing very fast when I was using your products. I know. And I have a little girl too. And what I do with her hair, instead of the serum, I use the moisturizer after wash day, which really helps with her curl pattern and pulling it all together. I will say also that, now that we're in our 40s, if you want to call it premenopause or whatever you want to call it,
So
my
whatever you want to
edges,
call it.
whatever it's called, the edges just decided to disappear.
Okay.
Like it was like hocus pocus, bye. And that's when I became just I really didn't know where to turn then, and I used a whole bunch of different products. Came back to your product, and I did notice that there were lots of hair coming in. Slowly but surely, the hair was coming in. It's still coming in, and thank goodness for this protective hairstyle. But I will say that my edges are going back. You are growing edges. Thank you so much. You, you are, you are. And so, yeah, that's basically my hair journey. At this point in my life, I'm just trying to grow my edges, get my little patches back in, and just, wear my protective hairstyles.
What
So,
have
yeah,
been
thank
some
you.
of the challenges that you've had even with the protective hairstyles? I know a lot of
Mhm.
professional busy women like they like to do the protective styles, and sometimes protective doesn't always mean healthy. And maybe you've been
Yeah.
able to like figure it out because you've probably been doing it a while. What are some issues that you even have with your protective styles?
I'll say that the biggest issue around my edges was when I decided to not do a weave and I started doing braids again. And because I just like to wake up and go, I would pull my hair back a lot, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. And as soon as those braids came out, that's when my edges came out,
You're actually doing like
And
single
so
braids, like the box braids? Okay.
box braids, yep. So I pull it up top of my head, the bun, the cute little bun, or I pull it back because I worked out a lot, like, and it was heavy. And so, every day I was just pulling it back, not realizing that it was literally like pulling my fine little hair out,
All the trash.
which wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As far as the weave is concerned, I kind of got that on lock. It's pretty good, it doesn't do a lot of damage to my own hair. So it's really just when I wear the braids, box braids.
How do you
Yeah,
maintain your scalp with all your protective styles? Do you go, I guess you probably go in often and get it done. Yeah.
I do. I go in at least every couple weeks just to get it washed. And I put your oil around my edge. Any parts that's left out, I put around. Even in the back, I'll put the oil back there. I put the moisturizer on my hair as well. So yeah, that's pretty much how I
So
do
update
that.
us on the patches.
The patches are going back.
What do you
Yes,
think caused
yes, yes.
that?
I know. I'm happy. But yeah, that was the patches. Yeah, was a time where, my dad had passed and just I didn't know what was happening. And my stylist was like, yeah, those are stress patches. It just happens. And I'm like, what? Yeah, so
Do you
they're
ever
going back.
So, I've had like all the health stuff going on and on like medications and everything, and that it's been a long time. And I started seeing like all these changes in my hair around that time. And like, you don't think how much your hair is impacted by all these other external factors or even internal
Mm-hmm,
factors. It's like this thing
mm-hmm,
on our head that we don't think about.
mm-hmm,
So through
mm-hmm.
your journey, how have you started to like, or maybe you haven't, and maybe it's just something I've been more particular about since I'm growing the brand, but like just being more mindful of like how your hair is in certain situations. Do you ever change up your routine if like stress is there or your diet's off or like you're noticing stuff since now stress causes the patches? Like, are you mindful in any way about a different hair routine or?
Absolutely. I won't say mindful of hair routine, but mindful of what I'm putting inside my body because it impacts my own hair. So, it's easy as drinking water. I know literally when I'm not drinking enough water because my hair is just like, again, the edge is just brittle. The back part is brittle. Everything is not good. My vitamins, the multivitamins that we need to take, those types of things. And so that's kind of how I'm mindful when that happens. Also mindful, we're working out more these days, especially since I'm getting older. Just being mindful of how I'm putting, our wraps on, the
Oh,
sweatbands
yeah.
on, it's just the little things. And
Think
and
about
how
that.
I, yeah, how you do that. And then when you're all sweaty and you come home and you're like, all right, let me get ready for work and comb my hair out. Well, my own hair is wet, from sweat, right? So you just kind of be careful and just how you deal with your own hair after working out, eating. Yeah, that's pretty much
I
it.
actually, before I chopped all my hair off a couple years ago, of course, obviously it's growing back now, but I used to always keep my hair straightened and like wrapping it. Like I wasn't very mindful, like putting that thing on there and twisting it around, like the traction it would cause. Like I am very
Mm-hmm,
mindful now about like how I clip my hair, how I do certain stuff
mm-hmm,
because it does
mm-hmm.
pull on the hair.
Yeah.
But tell me about the vitamins you're taking and how you've factored that into your hair journey.
Let's see, what am I taking? I'm taking a lot of iron right now. I'm on this, what is the Black Girl vitamins as of late. And so those multivitamins are really good. Anything that has to do with the premenopausal phase, again, whatever that is. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
And any changes you had during pregnancy with your hair?
Absolutely. It all fell
Did you
out. Like, it all fell out. Like I didn't have the patches. There were no issues with around the edges. It was just hair was falling out,
really?
right after both of my pregnancies.
Mhm.
I loved the prenatal vitamins. However, that kept it going. That kept it going. What I also do, I drink this coffee that has vitamins in it as well. Like hair, it has hair, it's beauty, skin, hair vitamins.
Tell me more. I don't know about this coffee.
What is it called? Vita something, something. I get it from a grocery store in Virginia, and it's
Ah,
really good. I'll have to send it to you.
that
Yeah.
is
They also have
interesting.
like a fat burner one, and it has just different vitamins in there. It's called. There's also a Genius. coffee, whatever I'm feeling for that morning, whatever needs a little
That's
pick me
good.
up.
Oh, so when you were going through the hair loss during pregnancy, did you get any guidance from like a medical professional about what to do, or they just were like, it'll come back, or?
I did not seek any guidance from a medical professional on my hair.
Ooh, ooh. Now I didn't have Safo at the time, but I'm just kind of curious because I
Yeah.
had issues with my hair, and I know I went to a one of the top dermatologists in the Harvard system, and she hands me some stuff, and I'm just like, I can't use this. I'm black. Like I was having my hair was falling
Mm,
out, all this other stuff. One because she wasn't a black dermatologist for one, and it may not have been like she may not have been hair specialist. But I was seeing her for like my eczema as well. But it was just interesting to me that I did not get good guidance when I even sought one out, and I just didn't know if you'd ever sought out a professional about anything. And
I know,
sometimes
other than
most
you.
people don't think to do it, honestly. Like they don't think to
Mm-mm.
do it. They slap on a wig or they think, whatever, try to change
Yes.
up the products. But I think it's probably something we need to think about more. Like if we start to see these changes,
Mm-hmm.
like oftentimes it could be something going on. Our sugars might be high. We might
Mm-hmm.
be developing
Mm-hmm.
diabetes. It could
Mm-hmm.
be the medications we're on, and maybe your doctor can change something. Like we think to go to the
Absolutely.
doctor, the dermatologist all the time if we're starting to get a wrinkle or we want a lift over here. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
stuff when it comes to the scalp, we don't always think about that as skin. And I'm happy to hear you're being really intentional about the scalp serum because were you ever focused on the scalp a lot before or no? Like taking care of your scalp?
I never really had to be. Back in the day, we were little. We used to use the jars of grease to keep our scalp like. And then once you realize that just made your hair all heavy and matted down, you stop using that. But no, I've never ever thought about
Are you
using
more
oils
intentional
before.
now about it, especially since you're using the serum?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Are
you.
you more intentional now about the scalp, especially since you're using the serum now?
Oh yeah. Every day, every night.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Are you anything else that you're dealing with as far as your hair journey? Like any wins that you want to share? I know we talked a lot about some of your issues and how you've been working towards improving that and you're seeing some good stuff. But like any like thing you feel like you're expert at now?
An expert.
Or like you got this on lock. I know you mentioned the protective styles.
I will say I'm not quite the greatest at my own hair
Hmm.
because I've had the protective style for so long, for a couple decades.
Oh wow.
It's hard to forget about your own hair, but when I take it out, it's nice and thick and good. I also have a lot of gray hair coming in. And so that has been whatever, I'm embracing it, but at the same time, not really. Uh,
Do you die?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I do. I do.
Piece
It's a
right
lot.
here. Oh, did I just pull it? I got a piece right here. I haven't fully gotten all the gray
I
hair.
have a lot. I think it's hereditary. I think it's hereditary because I'm not that old.
She said, "I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that old. Don't tell yourself that."
Mm-hmm.
You are
Mm-hmm.
not. And it's interesting because I notice people our age like either have gray or they don't have it or they have a lot of it or they have like some sprinklings of it. I've had a couple pop up recently and I'm just like, what do I do with this? So I just leave it.
Love it.
Leave it.
Leave it. Leave it and love on it.
Leave it be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything else that you want to
Yeah.
share, or how do you talk to your daughter? I heard you say your daughter. How do you talk to
Yes.
your daughter about her hair?
Oh, wow. Well, my daughter's hair is a different, what do you say, grade of hair of mine. So at first, I didn't know how to even do her hair.
Mhm.
Mine, the curls are a lot tighter than hers. I didn't know how to keep her hair moisturized and not dry, which, I will say your oil and your moisturizer have helped with that for her as well. But in talking to her, I mean, she loves the little curls. You know, she loves getting her hair done. She loves wash day. She loves the bows. She loves it all. She's a girly girl. So I have no issues with her and her hair. I'm very tender-headed, extremely tender-headed, and she is not. And she has a head full of hair. So I'm just so thankful for that. Your moisturizers and your serum keep it nice and soft and manageable.
Question, does the serum help with your tenderheadedness at all? Have you,
Probably.
because
I'm trying to
it
think.
has anti-inflammatory properties, so I'm just curious because I've never asked anyone
Oh.
that question. I noticed I got my hair braided by some heavy-handed women a few years ago, and my hair
Uh-huh.
was on fire when I left out of there. And I went home and I was like, I can't sleep. I had just started formulating my serum and I put it on my scalp, and instantly, like it just calmed the pain.
You know what? Thank you for that reminder. Because remember, I told you when I got the box braids, right? That was the first time in a long time. And when you come home and they're super tight, I did use your serum just to go through real. I'm like, oh, you know, that nice relief you get right after you get it done. So yes, it does help with that,
Yeah.
that tension.
And it wasn't like an intended use of the product, but like understanding like the ingredients and the formulations. I was like, one day I was like, my head is on fire, I need something. And then as soon as I put it on there, I was like, oh my God, this is something I need to market. But I think more
Yeah.
people are starting to be more mindful about how they're doing hair. Like I recently got
Mhm.
a sew-in, which I very rarely ever do. And as they're braiding the hair down, they were being very mindful about not doing it tight. Because back in the day, like
Mhm.
it had to be tight so it could be clean and crisp. And if it wasn't hurting, it wasn't working. But at the same time, it was causing damage. So I think beauticians,
Mhm.
stylists are a lot more mindful of that. So I'm glad to hear you
Yeah.
actually had the same experience.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we love Safo over here.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything
Thank
else
you.
you want to
Thank you.
share?
I don't know. This has all been, thank you so much.